I just wanted to take a few minutes to talk to you about your first test and to maybe alleviate some fears, but also to just give you a heads up on a few things. So I am having computer trouble, so please forgive me, but I will get to the tab I need in just a second, and we'll get moving here. I think I'm on it. So please be aware that your first test is covering chapters 1, which is part of module 1, chapters 2, 3, and 4, which is part of module 3, and then chapters 11 and 12, which is module 2. Going back to module 1, if you haven't listened to the narration for A Scaffold for Programmers, note that it was recorded at a different time, a different semester, but the information is still accurate. It's still reflective of the questions that will be asked. Further, just the PowerPoint listing there is available for you if you just don't want to hear the narration. You can look up the answers in your textbook. That module gives a fine overview of what the course is about. We can click on some of the concepts and vocabulary that are available, and I clicked on the wrong thing, of course. Here we go. This should be it, unless I've uploaded the wrong thing. And I have, and that would be a problem for you. But we'll get it straight. Hopefully this is the correct one, and I'll fix the PDF. Chapter 1 has a lot of overview, a lot of different names, terms rather. So example, network. Well, what's a network? Well, a network is a grouping of stations that fall under the same company. An example for network in television would be ABC. Another would be Fox. Another would be CBS, the CW. So network programming in television might be something like Scandal on ABC. But you also might find that there's a network in radio. There's the Westwood One radio networks. And that's something that Adam Baum actually works for, if any of you work for Q100 or listen to him. Syndicated programs, on the other hand, are something we'll talk about in later chapters more fully, but syndicated are programs that are not broadcast simultaneously throughout the country. They are programs that appear at different times on different stations throughout the country. Syndicated programs on radio might happen. I'm not sure if Ryan Seacrest is still doing the top 40 countdown, but that would be an example. You can hear him at various times throughout the nation, whether it's at 4 o'clock on Sundays, or maybe it's at 9 o'clock on Saturday nights. So syndicated is a different type of program option. One we didn't talk about a lot, and I'll say a little bit more at a later time, local programming. The best example of local programming is your local news. WSB, WXIA, Fox 5, those are local programs. And those are the three top types of programming that have traditionally been available. There's also something called locally produced programs. Those are slightly different because they could be network, they could be syndicated, they could be online, and they could be cable. So there's a whole lot more there that is of interest to us that we'll talk a little bit more about later on. Obviously, the new option today are online programs. That's what you're familiar with more than I am. Whether it's the House of Cards, whether it's the new rollout from Amazon. I saw that we're going to do Long Strange Trip about the Grateful Dead. A music documentary that's being shared on Amazon Prime. Hulu has, I believe they have original series as well as repeats of network programming, so online programs. So there are lots and lots of vocabulary words and just general concepts that come out of chapter 1. They're not difficult. So I encourage you, again, over and over, to work on the quizzes that are available. You have 2 shots at it. So the first time that you answer the quizzes for each chapter, you get feedback on the ones you got wrong. But then you can go back in and take it again. And who says you can't make note of what the questions are and what the answers are supposed to be, or what your responses are, that it provides you those notes when it's time for you to actually take the test. I'll say more about actually taking the test momentarily. Try and be brief. Further, don't forget that there are the self-assessments. In order to find those, the easiest way is to actually click on the syllabus, if I can find it. Here it is. And hopefully I can find the link, which is here. The link for your double check. It looks like that you are not. I wonder why. Maybe I have to screen share that. Let me see if I can. And that's